we see. Hello everyone, wake up and get back, join us for the most exciting part of the 12 hours endurance race here in Saudi World Series International Finals. 90 minutes till the end of the race.
Ladies and gentlemen, watching the 3MK Events YouTube channel, in the live chat, sit back, grab whatever you need to grab, because in my 20 plus years of commentating on kart racing, both sprint and endurance, two-stroke, up all the way up to the FIA World Championships, I think we are in for one of the most intense, exciting, maybe even crazy 90 minutes of racing. There are count them, 6 teams that are still in with a legitimate shot at victory. There are 10 teams still on the lead lap. They are slipstreaming and bump drafting with each other like they've been doing for 10 and a half hours. I've just walked the paddock. I have never seen as many teams shaking their heads saying we've never been in a race like this before. The last half an hour, they all say, will be like nothing we've ever seen before. Let's have a look how things stand now on the track, and then how things are shaping up.
Things on the track are so that we will see so much pit stops in the last hour. The pit stops are allowed. The pit entry will be closed 30 minutes before the end of the race. That means we now have 1 hour till the pit line entry will be closed, and we still have teams which still have to do 6 pit stops in this 1 hour. It's a KMRS Racing and KMARS by SCOF. They are at the front, leading now in the first and second place, but they have done only 9 stops. There is 10 stops are Rodex and Track Limits by Storm Group, but now, only now, we have leveled the top 3 pairs or top 6 teams, as Henry said, with 12 pit stops done and 3 stops to go.
Yes, and KMRS by SCOF. I believe that's, you're looking at them now in the race, the pink race suit, pink crash helmet. That's Remy Stelling. Just behind him, you see the white legs of the race suits. That's his teammate Lucas Urbani for KMRS Racing. They're going to have to pit 6 times in the next hour. They're probably running 7th and 8th overall. Only about a minute behind, or maybe 40 seconds behind the lead group. Just behind them, 3rd and 4th on the road, are Rodex, and then the number 46 team, which is the French team that is Track Limits by Storm Group. They are separated by 1/10 of a second. We've then got the Iron Kart team in 5th, but they're about a lap behind. Then we have Iris Sport and NRG Agora Drive, but they're not really contenders. We have to wait until we get back to 10th place overall. That is where we find team number 27, Matrex Racing,
and now
for Portugal.
They are just leveled on the pit stop count with 12 stops, and now that means they are all on the same lap, and we will soon see the gaps between them. Already we can say that Matrax Racing and PF Racing are leading this race. Actually, they are 10th and 11th in the rankings now, and they have 6.6 seconds advantage in front of Aries Pro and Asphalt Knights. So after 424 laps, we have 6.6 seconds between 4 best teams in the race.
And then 30 seconds behind those 4, MRK Lions and PFV. Again, they run, pushing each other along, separated by 1/10 of a second. They will catch the top 4 when not if, when the top 4 begin to battle. Now, yesterday, in the sprint racing, we had a situation where when the leaders started to fight, they lost 2 seconds per lap to the karts that were following them. So we can say that when they start battling, the leaders, they will lose 2 seconds per lap. That's not even taking into account the fact that there are 50 karts out on the circuit, all in their own private battles. That will make things even more interesting. So, when the leaders start to battle, 3rd and 4th will join them. When the top 4 start to battle, 5th and 6th, currently about 30 seconds back, will start closing in because they will work together for as long as possible. It's been Matrax and PK Racing, PF Racing, are standing together down the pit lane, sharing ideas. I spoke to PF Racing's team manager, Dennis Holler. He said he has never, in all his years of racing, had to work so closely with a rival team for the both. He said it's new territory. They've never had to do this before. Iris Pro Racing have said, this is crazy, but the Saudi World Series qualifying events, some of the 24-hour races, the standard has gone up so much that sometimes you get 4 or 5 teams on the same lap at the end of 24 hours. Now, PFV and MRK Lions, they were a little bit downbeat. They think, we're a bit too far back. KMRS, likewise, the 2 KMRS teams. Rodex, they were thrilled with their efforts to get back into contention. So I think that we got a battle for the top 6 and then a 4-kart battle for 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th, all on the same lap as the leaders. We welcome you back on the live chat. It's a pleasure to have you on board. There in the pit lane are Rodex. They are now making their 11th pit stop. Just in front of them, the number 14 team, that's the Fast Snails. Well, they're down at the bottom of the charts. Behind Rodex, that's their sort of drafting buddies for the last 8-9 hours. The 46 team, Track Limits by Storm. Those 2 teams have worked together. The team that has been working together since lap number 1, KMRS by Scoff and KMRS Racing, for 10 hours and 38 minutes, they have not been separated by more than 1 second. Incredible.
They are working together, and I wonder when... did they make some agreement when they will start fighting? Maybe KMRS, but the same name, are doing as a team this, but PF Racing and Matrax Racing, Asphalt Knights and Iris Pro, PFV and MRK Lions, did they made an agreement when they are allowed to start fighting? They still have to do a pit stops, so I assume the fight can begin after the last stop, after the 15 stops are completed.
Funny you should ask that, Gertz, because I asked that very same question to several teams, and they all it's the elephant in the room. Nobody wants to tell anyone that, because I said, well, if you say to your neighbour, right, with 20 minutes to go, it's game on, the neighbour will turn around and go, okay, well, with 23 minutes to go, it's game on. And then you'll have to go back, okay, with 26 minutes to go, and suddenly you'll get, that's where the team will break down. Because,
and also,
if you tell the rivals, okay, with 10 minutes to go, we'll attack. Well, they're prepared for it. You can't just tell your arch rivals when you're going to attack them.
Yes, but you have to make an agreement.
No!
They had 11 hours, almost 11 hours time to figure this out, how to do that.
No, Gertz, you can make every agreement, but then when it comes to winning the race, that's when you'll see, because these are rival teams. They might be mates now, but this last half hour, you've got no friends. So they will bluff and counter bluff. It now becomes a game of tactical chess.
There
Who
are
breaks
tactical
first?
options. They
Oh,
can
yes.
fight together, they can fight each other, they can wait for the other cars to come into the play when they are going through the traffic together like a car and a trailer. And then maybe within the traffic, then when they are overtaking other go-karts, then try to run away from your follower.
That's that. Yeah, you back your rivals up into a pack, and then see what happens. Now, that is so. There are our two leaders. You've just seen them go out of our screen. That is Andre Caicedo, and chasing Andre Caicedo is Vika Schlitz. They were 9th and 10th. There they are, 9th and 10th overall. These are the two karts that we believe are leading the race when all pit stops are completed. So that, after 427 laps, is the difference between winning and losing this race. Now, if we wait, the camera will have to wait not long. Well, actually now, because Asphalt Knights and the number 29 team, Asphalt Knights and the number 29 team, MRK Lions. Also, where are Iris Pro, the number 10 team? They're also pitting. So, there is your first separation. Asphalt Knights have been working...
First divorce today.
The first divorce. Asphalt Knights and Iris Pro have been together for 10 hours. Now they separate. They go their separate strategic ways. That is Joao Brites about to go out in the number 5 kart.
He is fighting for the podium. They were a second pair.
Yep.
Now went to the pit lane and we move for 13 stop.
Asphalt Knights are leaving the pit lane in a few seconds. Iris Pro have gone a lap earlier. They're already back out on the circuit. Let's try and see, and I admit it is very difficult to see pretty much anything at the moment. Let's try and see where they come. So, Asphalt Knights back onto the circuit. They're looking for Iris Pro. Is that Iris Pro right behind them? We'll try and catch up. Yes, it is. That's the Iris Pro race suit. So, they tried to bluff. The first bluff didn't quite work. They're back together. Asphalt Knights are ahead, however. So these are the teams in 3rd and 4th places when everything shakes out.
But starting to fight for 3rd so early, they are losing their hopes to fight for the win and for the 2nd place. If they are not cooperating but fighting each other, there are no hope for them to catch PF Racing and Matrax Racing.
Exactly. So they've now, begrudgingly maybe, who knows, that might have been the plan overall to pit a lap apart. Who knows? They're now going to have to work together once again. And we'll have to wait to see. Again, they're going to work together. They're signaling to each other. Okay, Joao Brites. And who is that in the Iris Pro car at the moment? It is Gregory Morin. There's a look down at the drivers, waiting to get someone's doing a Macarena. That's unfortunate. Yeah, let's have a look. So there's some nervous, well, you wouldn't see they're nervous drivers. Some of them are more look very focused. There's the Creation
there
Racing
must be
team.
a lot of nervous drivers because there are drivers who have to swap and make the pit stops in a 10 or 15 minutes time or even less.
Yes, so KMRS and KMRS Racing have both pitted again. They have now made 10 pit stops. Iron Kart team are 3rd. They've made 11. They're in the pits at the moment, as are NRG Agora Drive. Well, I'll have to say, a big shout out to Sergio, our mobile camera guy. He is going to be down in the pits showing you the comings and goings. There will be a lot of them, and then he'll be on the pit wall watching the emotions and the drama as unfolds, as myself and Gert's Team Rots call the action from the commentary box, which sits above the above the start finish line in the race control, the very nice race control building here. We can't actually see the circuit, so what you're seeing, we're seeing. And then new fastest lap of the race went to PF Racing, 1 minute 25.145 seconds. Now, here are the track limits by Storm group. They are in along with Rodex. There's the Rodex team. Track limits by Storm getting out ahead of Rodex. So for the last couple of hours, it's been Rodex leading track limits. Now track limits take over. Iris Pro pushing the Asphalt Knights along. The gap, well, they have made one more. Where are they in relation to Matt Trax and PF Racing? Well, it's gone full circle. For most of the race, PF Racing, the double defending champions, and Matt Trax, they have been a pit stop ahead of these two, and now they're a pit stop behind.
No, the whole time it seemed like as soon as anyone tried to level out the pit stop count with them, the PF Racing and Matrax just went for another stop, and so it seemed like they were hiding their pace and their real position.
Yep, indeed. Please. So, on the live chat feature, which you can see on the 3MK Events YouTube channel, we got 6 options for winners. PF, Matrax, Iris Pro, Asphalt Knights, PFV, and MRK Lions. Who you got to win? Okay, PSV and the BRK Lions are the outsiders, and the MRK Lions are the outsiders. But anything can happen, and the way this race is going to pan out when the battle starts, who have you got to win this race? We will try and take you through the remaining runners, but then at some point all 50 carts are still together, are still on the track. It's been incredible. We have had no yellow flags, no safety carts, no accidents apart from one incident on lap number 1, and no mechanical breakdowns. It has been a flat out sprint. The 2 leaders are in the pit lane now. KMRS and KMRS Racing are making their 11th pit stop. This could bring Matt Trax and PF Racing back to the front. Let's have a see. The 21 kart, that is the team kart team Vitlik of Lucas Bright, Dario Echeverri, Jan Friedendorf and Danilo Iglesias. There is the number 18 team pulling up. That's Infinity Racing. The number 14 team, that's the Fast Snails. You see they're running through their pit stops. The 39 and the 38, that's Red Racing and Puissance Kart 1. Red Racing doing a fantastic job, even though their result will not be classified at the end of the race because they've got 2 non-registered drivers competing for them because they're 2 of their 3 regular drivers. Their flight got cancelled and they're stuck in Italy. There are our current leaders. Ricardo Perez Lopez sits in his kart. He'll be joined momentarily by Team 23, KMRS Racing. Behind the wheel of that kart at the moment, I think that is Antoine Morley.
And now we have 1 hour 11 minutes left still in the pit lane. Both KMRS teams, they have to be there for more 40 seconds. And Matrax Racing, PF Racing, now going through the second sector of the lap. They will be new race leaders, or they will lead the race again.
Yep, so, okay. Basically, it looks like everyone's either going for PF Racing or Matrax. Julian Turner asks, how much lap time do you estimate the slipstream in drafting gives to teams that are cooperating? Ooh, half a second a lap?
At least.
At least. We do know from yesterday's that when you battle, you lose about 2 seconds a lap. That's when you battle. Here we go then. The KMRS duo exiting the pit lane down into turn number 1. That looks like Matt Trax passing some slower traffic, and it looks like PF Racing going with them. Yes, you can see the purple name on the back of the black race suit with a shiny gold crash helmet. That's Vika Schlieds. Andre Caicedo, there he is. Your 2 We'll see when the timing and scoring works itself around. I think KMRS and Scoff might just still be in the lead. They've done 11 pit stops. I think they've done enough to maybe maintain the lead for the time being, at least.
Now they are back on track. Matrix Racing and PF Racing are going again through the second sector. They are before their turn number 12, going uphill for the third time. And there are in the pit lane Asphalt Knights and Aries Pro for a 14th time in this race. So penultimate pit stop for Asphalt Knights and Aries Pro. They are now moving down from P13 and P14, but they are ahead of everyone in a count of pit stops.
Okay, an hour and 9 minutes to go. 39 minutes to make your pit stops. What they're doing now, what Iris Pro, there's Asphalt Knights. A short stint. You've got to do a minimum of 5 minutes. What this means is that it minimises the risks of losing even just a single second in a late pit lane scramble. That's what they're doing. If they've only got 1 mil pit stop to make, they can do it at a time when the pit lane is quiet. Because there will come a time where the pit lane is insanely busy because it has to be.
But the pit lane is very, very well organized, we have to say, because when we ended our previous transmission, there were quite big traffic into the pit lane, and we made a prognosis that there will be some losses in the seconds or in a time in a pit, but the worst pit stops at that time were 2 minutes and 33 seconds.
Okay, so
not more than 3 seconds were lost, even with the biggest traffic there.
Now let's have a look. You can see there we go. Now Iris Sport, that's the team number 11. That's sort of, I'd say, the B team, but it's the second of the Iris teams. Right, back onto the circuit. Asphalt Knights get a good jump on Iris Pro behind the wheel of the Asphalt Knights car. They've dropped is now Luis Duarte Morera, Siebert Verfaye for Iris Pro.
They are back on track and down to P15 and P16, but they have to do only one pit stop, only one stop left for them. There are 37 seconds till the pit lane entry will be closed, and both KMRS teams still have 4 stops to do. 4 stops also left. There are for other teams 3 stops for Matrax Racing and 3 stops for PF Racing. Also 3 stops for PFV and MRK Lions.
Now, we know something. We know that KMRS by Scoff and KMRS Racing are 1 minute and 17 seconds ahead of Matrax and PF Racing. They've got 1 more pit stop to make than those two. A pit stop in 2 minutes and 30 in the pits, and another 7 seconds roughly entering and exiting pits. So that's 2 minutes and 37 seconds. They're going to be the teams that we think are 7th and 8th overall. When the 2 KMRS teams make their pit stop, that means they're going to be, 1 minute and 10 seconds behind the leaders.
They will be about half a minute behind PFV and MRK Lions.
Okay, so they'll be 6th and 7th. They'll be 7th and 8th, rather. We also know that the gap between Matrax and PF Racing is now 40 seconds between those two and PFV and MRK Lions. It was as little as 15. So those 2 teams, PFV and MRK Lions, they've fallen away. So it's now maybe 4 teams, realistically, in the favourites. PFV and MRK are not out of it, not by a long shot, depending on how the battles go in the last 30 minutes. Yeah, someone says, first divorce incoming. Well, we'll have to wait and
First
see.
divorce already was there.
I'm not saying that divorce on the cards, but we're certainly sleeping in different bedrooms by now. Okay? It was the honeymoon period at the start of the race, and then we had wives and family and kids, and then the cracks started to appear. There's the Sodi Kart team celebrating the hard work that they have done. We're still on speaking terms, but we're not sleeping in the same bedroom anymore because you snore and you fidget and you hog the covers. Divorce not on the cards yet.
You are in a dangerous territory now.
We're in dangerous territory, yes. Asphalt Knights and Iris Pro, they lead each other on the circuit. Now, who are those two karts directly behind them? It is very, very difficult to see the numbers on the carts. Let's have a little look. If we could try and spot. Oh, I think it's PK16 Racing and the Joker
and
team.
Track Limits by Storm Group.
No, it's a PK16 with Aurélien Mallet behind the wheel.
And Joker team too.
And Joker team with Martin Brochard. No penalties recently.
About 15 penalties through all those already 11 hours of racing. No yellow flags, only a few penalties, and only a few of them for pushing on the track, for too hard fighting on the track. So very, very fast and smooth race we have.
Yes, indeed. We are. And there's a thumbs up from Iris Pro. Okay, Gonzalo Texiera set to head out on to the pit lane. You can see the Still We Rise Lewis Hamilton motif and the Redeemer from the statue from atop the hill of in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, on the back of his crash helmet.
And now we are approaching last hour of this race. 33 minutes till the pit lane entry will be closed, and KMRS Racing are going into the pit lane for the 12th time of this in this race. And so top 6 teams now are level on a pit stop count with 12 pit stops also for Team TKR, Iron Kart Team and Aries Sport in 8th, 9th and 10th places. And then with 13 stops already done, there are PK16 Racing, Joker Team, also Rodex, Track Limits by Storm Group, Sun Life Racing Team and TRIV Motorsport, and then Asphalt Knights and Aries Pro with 14 stops behind them are P18 and P19.
But this is the incredible thing, at the two teams that are actually in the lead of this race when things shake out are currently with 1 hour and 2 minutes of 12 hours remaining, 18th and 19th. That shows you how close things are. Right, there they go, out of the pit lane area. On track still, Joker Team. Now, Joker Team and PK16 Racing have got between the Asphalt Knights there in the red race suit and Iris Pro. We said about the first divorce incoming. Now we're deciding maybe who gets custody of the dog. Because Iris Pro, and he's looking over his shoulder. The guy from Asphalt Knights is looking over his shoulder saying, where's my partner gone? Where's my partner gone? And the answer is he can't stay with them. So.
And now 30 seconds left in the pits for KMRS Racing. Going through the starting straight now are FV and MRK Lions. It means almost half a minute behind them, behind MRK Lions, and the PFV will be back on the track. KMRS Racing.
Good. So I just saw something. Asphalt Knights pulled over, moved out of the way, allowed PK16 Racing and Joker Team to pass him so he could hook back up with Iris Pro. There they are, the two friends. Well, I mean, you always say before you get divorced, let's give it one more go for the kids. And that's what he did. Yes, Kern BF Motorsport. Say, watch my words. Joker team top 10. Well, top 15 for sure. We will see. There's Martin Brochard in the black back and the orange top to his race suit. He's pushing on. Those two teams have got very, very quick. That's great news for them. It's not really good news for Iris Pro and for Asphalt Knights.
But
because if those two teams are quicker than them at the moment, who else is quicker than them at the moment?
2 stops to go for Matrax Racing and PF Racing. They just got back in the lead and then went into the pit lane for the 13th time in this race. So 2 stops to do for PF Racing and Matrax Racing. Well, now it means PFV and MRK Lions will move up to first.
Yep. And so the lead changes once again.
In the pit lane now, Matrax and PFV and MRK now classified 3rd and 4th. They have 3 stops to do, and the leaders have 2 stops to do. Only 1 stop down there for Asphalt Knights and Aries Pro. They are now in P17 and P18.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Teo Aquita from Sony Kart, one of the event organisers, pushing a go-kart. Put that in the history folder. You may never see it again. And right, oh, Steph Vastmans. Here we go. Here's a pretty. Steph Vastmans 2 weeks ago, he called Matt Trax winning this race. You expect flowers in an hour. Well, there's a lot of racing to go. Where, Steph? Where did you say this? Did you say it in the shower morning? Oh, I think Matt Trax might win it. If that was the case, it doesn't matter. Here we go. There
20
are
seconds.
the 2. There they
20 seconds. They will be approximately 20 seconds behind PFV and MRK Lions going back out on the track.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was going to say, all harmonious. There's still a snap for the family album. Divorce not incoming. Oh, hang on. Well, there was no looking at each other there. Say no, after you. No, after you. They both just went, right, we'll go. We'll sort it out when we get on the track.
And they still have 1 pit stop to do.
Oh, and they come back out just in front of the flying French duo. Now, what does that mean? So, Miguel Neto, Nicholas Kruger, coming out of the pits now. 13 pit stops. Asphalt Knights, Iris Pro. They're about the same place on the lap. Okay. Yeah, Steph Assmans, he's been quietly contemplating this event for the last 12 months. Well, I think that's, I would as well, be quietly contemplating this event for a while. Why wouldn't you? It's possibly the biggest karting event in the world when you consider the amount of people globally that have competed in a Saudi World Series qualifying race, either as a Sprint Cup racer, a Masters, in the Ladies Cup, Kids, Juniors or Endurance. You're probably looking at close on 70, 80, 90,000 people have at least tried to qualify for this event. A lot of them are watching.
And 13th stop for PFV and MRK Lions. They are now in the pit stop already, and 2 stops to do for them in remaining 27 minutes until pit line entry will be closed. Still, they will be for 2 minutes in the pit lane, and then they will have to go back on the track. At least 5 minutes stint, the minimum stint for each driver, 5 minutes, and then go back twice for the 14th and 15th stop. 3 stops left for KMRS by Skov and KMRS. 2 stops left for Matrax Racing and PF Racing. They have to go in the pit lane twice, and already they have done everything tactical wise. Asphalt Knights and Aries Pro, they are in the pit lane for 15th time in this race.
Okay, they enter the pit lane 16th and 17th overall. There is the number 35 team. That's PFV. They are battling with the MRK Lions for what is probably 5th position. Bit more communication going on out on track. Joker team once again involved, and They're pushing hard to the end. No, that's not Joker. Yes, it is. That's the orange top of Martin Brochard's race suit. Again, it's so difficult to see the numbers. We do apologise to you for that. The camera crew are doing an excellent job looking at the progression. So, Sofiati, Kivers, they are now in the pits for PFV and the MRK Lions. So PFV and MRK Lions, they were leading. So we don't know who's going to finish the race. We do know that the finishing drivers for the Asphalt Knights the finishing driver will be Luis Duarte Morera by the looks of it. He's the one that is down at the moment. We'll check. We'll come back when they're back out on circuit to give you a final update of who is going to be where. There go the third of our married couples, PFV and MRK Racing. They've still got a few pit stops to make, but no signs of any cracks appearing there.
It will come by surprise. Certainly. And now 440 laps already done in the pit lane for more than 1.5 minutes. KMRS.
Look at this. Sorry, good. This is the problem that all the leaders are going to have. Visibility's at its poorest. Slower traffic all the way around. You've got to negotiate it without bumping into anyone, without losing any time, and the drivers don't necessarily know you're there. In the white race suit, that's the driver for the MRK Lions. I think that's Ben Kivers behind the wheel. Nicolo Sofiati is the second kart on your screen. He is driving for PFV at the moment. Once again, KMRS by Scoff and KMRS Racing move to the top of the leaderboard. Once again, they come into the pits. This could be the last time they lead. The lead must have changed. We must be up to about 60 to 70 lead changes during this race. The lead has changed since we come on air 37 minutes ago. The lead has changed, 10 times?
More. And now more than 10 teams, 10 front-running teams are level on 13 pit stops. Still almost half a minute in the pits. Must wait both KMRS cards, and that means we have one more lead change, and PF Racing is going to lead this race now. They have 2 stops to do.
I can't believe I'm going to say this. The Asphalt Knights and Iris Pro with Tom Chape behind the wheel, and the Asphalt Knights, Hugo Carvalho, who will be the 2 finishing drivers for those teams. They are fighting for the race win along with PF Racing and Matt Tracks Racing. At the moment, with 52 minutes of this race remaining, they're 24th and 25th. That's incredible. After 11 hours and 10 minutes, 2 of the teams that we think are going to be in the battle for the victory are 24th and 25th out of 50.
They are far down the order now, but in front of them everyone has made less stops than them. Niklas Kruger, now driving for PF Racing, is back in front in P1. He has a best lap time of 1 minute 25.1 seconds. Matrax Racing are behind in P2. PFV and MRK Lions now 3rd and 4th, and they are 38 seconds behind the leaders. So less than 40 seconds between 4 leading teams after more than 11 hours of racing.
It's unbelievable. Nicolo Sofiati and Benjamin Kivers, they're going to have to deal with the traffic, and get lucky with the traffic now, because we've got KMRS. Okay, so KMRS and KMRS by Scoff, they've come back out onto the track in 6th and 7th positions. Now, NRG Igora Drive, 5th, they're in the pit lanes. They're going to drop out. We said that the 2 KMRS teams are going to end up battling for 7th and 8th with Rodox and Track Limits by Storm. it seems to be coming to fruition that PK16 and Joker team, they are in the pit lane now. Out of 8th and 9th places, they're making their 14th stop. Where they come out, well, Track Limits and Rodox, they are 13th and 14th at the moment.
And we have 20 minutes left till the pit lane entry will be closed. Still, all top 7 teams still have 2 stops to do. 1 stop for PK16, a Joker team, and a Sun Life Racing team. 2 stops for Team TKR. 1 stop for Iron Car team, and with 2 stops to go, Young and Wild now are up to P13.
Young and Wild made the first scheduled pit stop out of any team, and that dropped them to 50th position. And now they make their first appearance in the top 15 all race. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
And now it begins. Aries Pro and Asphalt Knights, with all stops done already, are moving up the ranking order. They are 21st and 22nd. 2 of the leading teams, 49 minutes before the end of the race, now are 21st and 22nd.
Yeah, they haven't quite cracked the top 20 yet. I know, but again, we're going to track this with 53 minutes to go, 24th and 25th. With 49 minutes to go, 21st and 22nd. They'll keep moving up as everyone else makes their final pit stops. There are Matt Trex Racing, the second with a Hyundai badge on his race suit. That would be Miguel Nieto. Nicholas Kruger, they lead the race first and second on track. 39 seconds behind them. MRK Lions and PFV, another 40 seconds back. KMRS by Scoff and KMRS Racing. That's an actual race. They're all done the same amount of pit stops. We believe those teams will be possibly first and second, 5th and 6th, 7th and 8th, when things all shake out.
But still, we have more than 50, actually more than 60, even 70 pit stops left for all teams combined. They are done with the pit stops, only Aries Pro and Asphalt Knights, and then far down the order, Ats Narukach, Ukrainian team, has done 15 stops, also 15 stops for Kart Racing Mainz, and 15 stops for Nitro Night. They are moving up the order, and 15 stops done for NCNC Racing Malaysia. So everyone else, all those 46 or 45 teams will come into the pit lane not once but at least twice.
Can we just have a quick moment? We can't really mention it much, but the battle for last place. There's 4 teams battling for 47th, 48th, 49th and 50th. We'll give them a name check now. 47th is Asaron Femin 1, the all-lady, the French team. Laurence Benoist, Isabelle Rauhoff and Marion Sauvigny. Then it's the Nitro Knights, team from the USA, in kart number 32. Driving that kart, you've got Zeke Hartman, Jacob Yulson and Lucas Turner. Then you've got the team from Greece, the Fast Snails, sponsored by KartCenter Thessaloniki. And they we've interviewed them, that's Dimitris Kordas, Diogenes Papachristos, Alexandros Tsiautsidis and Billy Zumpaloudis. And then NCNC Racing Malaysia. No coffee, what was their slogan again? No coffee, no cure Racing. Malaysia. Brian Tan Yizang, Sing Chan Che, Wilson Tan and Jen Yu Koo. And they're having a great time, all battling over last place. We've spoken to them. They're some of the happiest teams here, even though they're fighting over last. Why don't we see Young and Wild on the live timing? Well, you can. They're also on the live timing screen. They're now up to 9th place.
But Aries Pro and Asphalt Knights with 15 stops done now are up to P19 and P20. In front of them there are now in the pit lane Creatia Racing Team from Spain. There will be so down after Aries Pro and Asphalt Knights. Also Infinity now in a pit lane, still more than 1 minute they will be there. Out from pit lane coming Team TKR. PF Racing one more time in the pit lane coming the leaders. PF Racing together with Matrax Racing. This is their 14th stop, so 1 stop to go. We have 15 minutes left till the pit lane entry will be closed in this race. MRK Lions and PFV in the pit lane too. They have 1.5 minutes to wait there yet. KMRS by Skov and KMRS Racing now are classified 5th and 6th, but they will move up the order. But they have 2 stops to do in the last 15 minutes before pit entry will be closed. Young and Wild are in for their penultimate stop. They have moved up to P8 now in front of Joker Team and PK16 Racing. Rodex are 11th. Track Limits by Storm Group are in P12. Behind them KRS Green Competition are in for their last stop in this race. They will be there for 2 more minutes, and then KRS Green Competition will be back on the track and they will not have to go in the pits anymore. Up to P18 and P19 moves Aries Pro and Asphalt Knights. 1 place up after Infinity in the pit lane for the penultimate time. Then Aries Pro and Asphalt Knights now are 17 and 18. We have 14 minutes left for the pit stops and 44 minutes till the end of the race. Now leading the race KMRS by Skov and KMRS Racing. They have to pit twice. They are now on track for 8 minutes, so the minimum stint 5 minutes is done and they can go in the pit line anytime. They have 2 stops to do and each of them has to be at minimum 5 minutes on the track, not counting the time in the pit lane. Only the time on the track counts in those 5 minutes. We have 13.5 minutes till the pit line entry will be closed, and still two times there has to be KMRS by Skov and KMRS Racing. Also, everyone else has pitted for the 14th time already. KMRS by Skov and KMRS by Racing. It will be very, very tight. They are 9 minutes on the track now. Lap 446. They have at the next 14th stint of this race have to be at least 5 minutes, and we have only 12 minutes left till the pit lane entry will be closed.
Well, that's why the team managers earn their crest. There are the Asphalt Knights in the red race suits going through turn number 1 now, and they are up to 15th and 16th with Aries Pro. KRS Green Competition just leaving the pit lane, so Tom Chiappa and Hugo Carvalho, they've gone from 24th and 25th to 14th and 15th in the last 10 minutes.
And now 12 minutes left. KMRS, both go-karts are now going through the second sector of the lap. When they approach the entry of the pit lane, there will be only 11 minutes left. So 2.5 minutes in the pit lane, then 5 minutes minimum stint, and then you have to get in time into the pits.
It's going to be very, very close indeed. The pit lane is about to become very, very busy. Sergio Shoulder, our mobile cameraman, I hope it's ready because I think we're going to see lots of frantic activity down in the pit lane. Here we go. There's Sergio. Well, no, that's not Sergio. That is the number 24 team. Konshinya Racing, the Japanese team, Hiroaki Kudo, Kengo Ozawa, Yuyu Sato, and Koichiro Suzuki. They head out And you can see the driver gets into the kart, he drives up the pit lane
And
there.
one more lap for KMRS teams. They are over the finish line and starting next lap. They did not go into the pit lane. They are already 11 minutes stint with those drivers. They have to pit twice in the remaining 10 minutes and 50 seconds.
Well, it's going to be so tight, but they're obviously doing it for a reason. I think that reason is that the MRK Lions and PFV, who, when things pan out, will be 5th and 6th, are not going as quickly as some of the others. In fact, they are now 42 seconds behind PF Racing and Matrax Racing. And that means that KMRS and KMRS by Scoff are thinking maybe a top 5 finish is on the cards.
So far, Aris Pro and Asphalt Knights, with all 15 mandatory pit stops done, are up to P15 and P16. Team TKR now moves up to P13. Red Racing and everyone in front of them have pitted 14 times, and only teams with 2 stops left are KMRS Racing. They are approaching end of the lap. They are on the starting straight, and they are going into the pit lane. And now they are in. There are 9 minutes and 40 seconds left. There will be only 7 minutes left then when they go out of the pit lane, at actually less than 7 minutes. Then they need 5 minutes stint for the driver, and then complete the lap and get into the pit lane before 30 minutes till the end of the race.
Now, 30 minutes is when pit entrance closes. If you're in the pits and you leave the pits with 29.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, but you are not sure that 5 minute stints ends at the pit entry. Maybe you have to do one more lap.
I mean, for a team, 2 karts that have been nose to tail for nearly 11.5 hours, they are pushing the strategic limit to breaking point. Now, let's have a look. A pass. That was Remy Stelling. He's going to be getting in, not for the final stint though, because he's going to be. So Remy Stelling's going to do 5 minutes in that kart, not a second longer. The other driver he's just adjusting the kart skins suit. We'll catch up on who that was.
In 5 minutes, he will do 3 laps and then 1/3 of a lap. That's 5 minutes. So he will have to do at least 1 minute more to complete this 4th lap. Those will be 6 minutes on the track, and we have only 8 left till the pit lane entry will be closed, and they will be in the pits for their penultimate stop for 40 seconds from now.
Yeah, it's poor. The sad thing is that we're down to 4 now, realistically. We're down to 4 contenders, and there are 3 steps on the podium. One of Iris Pro, the Swiss team, Matrax Racing representing Portugal, PF Racing from Germany, and the Asphalt Knights from Portugal aren't even going to stand on the podium. And that is going to be cruel. It's going to be so cruel when you consider how close they have been. No, strategy-wise, they have been, sometimes they've been laps apart. But in terms of real time, when pit stops, they've never really, the 4 of them, been more than 17 seconds apart, which is what happened at the end of the first round of pit stops, 1 hour and 10 minutes into this race, when PF Racing and Matrax had, PF had a penalty, Matrax waited for them, or vice versa, and they both got caught out behind a slower kart. So that's been the biggest margin between Iris Pro and the Asphalt Knights, PF Racing and Matrax Racing, the entire race, 17 seconds. With all pit stops taken into account, and one of them is going to miss out on the podium.
And now they are in for their last stop in this race. Matrax Racing and PF Racing still 1.5 minutes. They will be in the pit lane. Number 27 and number 1.
Yep.
We are still waiting for them to approach at the pit exit, but they are in. MRK Lions and PFV still have to do one stop. KMRS Racing are going back on the track, and we have 5 minutes and 50 seconds till the pit lane entry will be closed.
So we now know it will be Ruben Conceição to finish the race for Matrax Racing. It will be, I would imagine, Christian Duvan to finish the race for PF Racing. Now they're still talking. Okay, they're still talking. We're still on speaking terms. Oh, is he going to get stuck? He pushes the other driver out of the way. Right, so the marriage lasted until at least the final pit stop. The kids have gone to college. Now it's just the two of us sat at home on our own.
Divorce is coming in the next 35 minutes. That's for sure.
Yeah, yep. Okay. A couple of people say they believe that the Irish Pro team has a better kart than the Asphalt Knights at the moment. Well, let's see about that. Irish Pro, they're still only 1/10 of a second ahead of the Asphalt Knights. Now we're going to see when these two karts get back up to speed, which they're leaving the pit lane now. This is finally, we've been waiting 11 hours now for this. Now we'll see how it all pans out. Matrax Racing ahead of PF in their little couple. Irish Pro are ahead of the Asphalt Knights in their little couple. Let's see the next time. Well, where are they on the track? Let's have a little look down the road. That couldn't be Asphalt Knights right behind them and Irish Pro right behind these two, could it? Could it?
And now MRK Lions leading together with PFV. They are in the last sector of the lap. Their stint is already 9 minutes and they have one stop to do. 3 minutes and 45 seconds remaining for the pit line entry. KMRS by Scoff and KMRS Racing now are third and fourth, but they have their stint only 3 minutes now. So this lap and at least one more, they will be on the track, and there are only 3.5 minutes left till the pit line entry will be closed.
Rodex and Track Limits by Storm make their final pit stops. They will come out in 9th and 10th places. They will be fighting with the two KMRS teams for 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th when all is said and done. They cross the line. Now we'll see the gaps between them all. Christian Duvan chases Ruben Conceição, and the timing screen has not updated itself yet. Now it has. Oh my word! The gap is way bigger than we thought. These two teams on your screen have done an outstanding job. They're 15, nearly 16 seconds ahead of Irish Pro and the Asphalt Knights. That's incredible.
And we are running tight on the timing schedule with the pit line entry when it will be closed. Now 4 minutes on the track. KMRS Racing teams. Now it hits 5 minutes. They are allowed to go back into the pits now, but they are on the opposite side of the track. They still have to go. There are only 2 minutes left. It will be the last minute when they are going for their last stop. Everyone else has pitted for all 15 times, and only KMRS Racing and KMRS by Scoff are without last pit stop. They are now third and fourth, and they are approaching end of the lap through the corner number 16. They are going now. They have to do one more stop, and there is only 1 minute and 30 seconds left till the pit line entry will be closed. Then they will be passed by Red Racing are in stop now, but they will be passed by Matrax Racing, by PF Racing, by Asphalt Knights, and all those leading pairs.
I mean, I wish we could somehow get a lap. You know, like you get the lap progression charts, the graph of where each kart was at the end of each lap. The lead,
it would be like a cardiogram.
The lead has changed more times than I've had hot dinners. And if you have a look at my waistline recently, you'll realise I haven't missed dinner in some time. This is going to be a head-to-head fight for the win between Matrax Racing and the double defending champions PF Racing. Depending on when they battle, that will tell us how quickly or if Iris Pro and the Asphalt Knights can catch them. They're not out of it yet, but if these two drive teams on your screen now leave it until the last 2 or 3 laps before they start battling, then there's no chance. When will they break formation? Divorce incoming, a matter of time. We don't know when. We're in the stages where one's going through the history browser of the other one's laptop and checking their phones. Trust is now at a minimum. When is it gonna break?
And this track of Campillos with this slipstreaming options, we can be sure now already that this will be a closest fight for the win in a 12 hours endurance race in Saudi World Series. They have been together for almost 12 hours, and now pit line entry is closed. Everyone has done 15 stops. There are a few teams still in the pits waiting for their 2 minutes and 30 seconds to begin and then go out on the track. KMRS Racing and KMRS Baiskov now are classified still first and second, but they are down. Matrax Racing and PF Racing are going to lead this race. 29 minutes remaining.
The gap 15 seconds between Matrax PF and then Iris Pro and Asphalt Knights. Then another 26 seconds behind them. Benjamin Kivers and Boris Bouvier for MRK Lions and PF Racing. PFV. We're waiting to see where KMRS come out. We'll have to catch them. They're going to be 7th and 8th. All right, I'm about to eat humble pie. Do you know why? Because PK16 Racing and the Joker team have just moved into the top 10 ahead of Julian Pereira for Track Limits and Rodox. Track Limits by Storm Group and Rodex now 11th and 12th. Someone on the live chat is about to give me a bit of grief. Who said that Joker were going to get a top 10 about 4 or 5 hours ago? I'm sure I'll be reminded of that very shortly.
And now everyone has pitted. 2 minutes and 30 seconds gone for KMRS Racing. They are now down to 7th and 8th. Can they stay there after one full lap when we will see the actual gaps between the teams? But for sure, Matrax Racing is leading. PF Racing are second. Then 15 seconds gap after 12 hours of racing till Aries Pro in third and Asphalt Knights in fourth. MRK Lions and PFV are 5th and 6th, and only 42 seconds between first and 6th team after 12 hours.
Incredible. KMRS by Scoff runs 7th, 40 seconds behind PFV. Then it's KMRS Racing. They're running together. Behind them there's a 4-second gap back to PK16 Racing and Joker team running together. Then there's a 2-second gap back to Track Limits and Rodox. So the battle for 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th is covered by approximately 7 seconds. Wow. Yep, put some respect on my boys from PK16, says Malik. That's right, fair play. PK16 and Joker team have emerged from the shadows when they passed Asphalt Nights and Iris Pro, alarm bells in my head should have been ringing. Now, that's your top 12. KRS Green competition at 35 seconds further back in 13th. Then it's Sun Life Racing and Red Racing, 15th. Followed by Team TKR in 16th. T-Drive 2G Turtle Wax, 17th. Then it's Iron Kart Racing in 18th position. 19th is Iris Sport, and 20th is Lecluse Automobiles Racing. NRG Idora Drive, 21st. Axna Ruka are 22nd. Young and Wild, 23rd. Iceman Racing Photomate, 24th. Warm Up Pro Racing are 25th.
Infinity there in 26th, Top 1 Karting in 27th, 28th for TRIV Motorsport, 29th for Creatia Racing Team, 30th Euro Racing ASD. Nameless Motorsport, after crash in the first lap, now have made up to 31st. Poisson's Kart in P32, 33rd Movers LV. Bureau 11 NFS in 34th place. WRW in 35th. 36th for EscuelaDeCart.com, 37th for Kart Racing Minds, 38 are Sankachi, and Conchilia Racing 39th, with Apex Racing completing top 40.
Press Ratachi from Croatia run 41st. Pantar Racing by Jovatec are 42nd. Kart Team Vitlik run 43rd, and Damuso Darenson are 44th. 45th are Nitro Knights. 46th Friendly Competition. 47th are Asaron Femin 1. 48th No Coffee No Cure Racing Malaysia. 49th are Atrost Racing Wilsdruff, and rounding out the field, Fast Snails sponsored by KartCenter Thessaloniki. 9 laps separate every one of these teams. 9 laps after 12 hours. That's a statement.
And still only 900ths of a second between two leaders.
Okay.
Matrax Racing and PF Racing. We have only one question. When they will start fight?
When? Now, who are we looking at on the circuit? There are the Joker team. So that is the Joker team at the back of that group. They are in 10th place, chasing down KMRS and KMRS Golf. So the two French teams, that's the battle. They're 7th and 8th place on our screens. KMRS by Scoff and KMRS Racing. PK16 Racing and Joker team are, wait for it, there, coming through the chicane now. So that is the battle for 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. Just behind them, Track Limits by Storm, but the leaders are between. So the leaders are just behind Joker team. So you've got these are 7th and 8th. Then a gap back to 9th and 10th of just a couple of seconds. Then you've got the leaders.
2.4 seconds actually only. So still we can predict that fight for 7th till 10th is not over.
Yeah, the two French teams, PK16 Racing and Joker team, KMRS are Belgium, and KMRS by Scoff are French. So you've got a French and a Belgian team on your screen now, and then you've got a pair of French teams chasing them. So this is the scrap from 7th till 12th. Now, let's see. We've got 21 minutes remaining. The leaders are probably to the back of our screen. They're now, Matrax Racing and PF Racing, they were 15.5 seconds in front of Iris Pro and the Asphalt Knights. They're now just 14 seconds. Now we're starting to get a little bit tactical. Boris Bouvier and Benjamin Kivers running 5th and 6th for their two teams, 28 seconds behind Iris Pro and the Asphalt Knights, 42 seconds behind the leaders. There are still 10 teams on the lead lap because PK16 Racing and Joker team are closing in. The leaders cannot get past PK16 and Joker team. That's the problem for Ruben Conceição and PF Racing. Now, let's see if we can move the cameras back a little bit from these two. Let's go back from these two because they're the two KMRS teams. To see behind them now. Let's see. The next two carts, we're going to stay with them for the minute, but the next carts behind these two are PK16 Racing and Joker team. They're chasing this group down. Then, the next two carts on track are our two leaders.
"20 minutes remaining. Matrax Racing fighting with PF Racing for third place on the podium. Aries Pro with Asphalt Knights. Then PFV and MRK Alliance. Still three pairs waiting for divorce to start to happen. KMRS Beskov and KMRS Racing 7 and 8, and only 2 seconds behind them are PK16 Racing and Joker team. They are closing in. They have reduced the gap by more than half a second in last 1.5 laps, so very fast are approaching PK16 Racing. The fight for 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th places are still on in remaining 19 minutes. Track limits by Storm Group are now in P11 and they are first team. They got overtaken by a lap. Still top 10 teams after 12 hours of racing are within 1 lap, but now they are approaching the leaders too. So the Matrax Racing and PF Racing now are catching by 1 full lap the teams which are fighting for the places from 7th till 10th.
Yes, I mean 10 carts on the lead lap. They are our two leaders there. Is that right? Let's have a little look at their race numbers. Yes. Here we go. You've got Joe. Number 8. We're going to pick out the leaders now. There we go. So, there is cart number 27, Matrax Racing. They can't get past. Look at that though, you can see. Right, they're no longer slipstreaming with each other. They're not pushing each other along anymore. That is why Tom Chape and Hugo Carvalho are catching. Because PF Racing, the double defending and reigning champions, they've just eased back a little bit. Yes, it looks like they're slipstreaming there, but if you follow them through the last lap, the gap is there. Now, that means that they don't know when the attack is going to come. They've dropped back. They can't get past PK16 and the Joker group. Maybe that is a deliberate ploy. Let's get ourselves some clean air. Okay, Duvan now gives him a little push down the front straight. This is Ruben Conceição versus...
I think they are not falling back. The Joker team and PK16 Racing are just driving faster than anyone now. They are in 1 minute 25.2 seconds. That incredible speed. They are fighting for P7 actually.
Yeah, because I mean, the battle is on for 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th.
And behind them are approaching leaders, catching them by 1 lap.
Yeah, so they don't want to go a lap down. They do not want to go a lap down.
Actually, they probably do not care about lap down. They are fighting each other,
well,
and they are busy not watching behind where are leaders.
Yes, but also if they get passed by the leaders and then suddenly there's a late race safety cart, they lose all chance because the leader becomes the leader of the train. So they don't want to have anybody between them and those two carts. They're closing in, you know. They're closing right in. PK16 and Joker team.
They are in 0.9 seconds. They are within 1 second, and fight for 7th till 10th is on for last 16 minutes of this race. And when this chaos begins, the leaders, Matrax Racing and PF, will be right there and will have to drive in there.
Yep, KMRS by Scoff and KMRS Racing, they've got the memo. They're pushing on. They're going to push on for as long as possible. But the lead battle, there they are. You could not fit a cigarette paper between them. Maybe a couple of packs of cigarette papers, but literally not much more than that.
They are fighting for the win. Are they avoiding to catch the 10th place or 9th place, or are actually really fast going Joker team and PK16 Racing? The lap time shows that they are now 1/10 of a second faster than Matrax and PF. There are still 1 minute and 24 seconds behind. That means they are 2 seconds in front on the track.
And Irish Pro and Asphalt Knights 13 seconds behind this battle. They were 16 seconds down at the end of the last pit window. Now they're closing, and here is the 4-cart battle for 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th.
And are Matrax Racing through?
No, this is 7th, 8th,
No,
9th
they are
and
still
10th.
behind. They are still behind.
Still behind. And of course, if these start to battle, that's going to slow them down and back them up into the race leaders. The race leaders, well, they just want they want these 4 carts to get out of the way, but you know they're going to fight. There are your leaders coming up the hill. Duvan chasing Conceição.
They are going without a gap between them. There are only a few centimeters between them. They are working hard for last 14 minutes now. Matrax Racing and PF Racing. Actually, they are so close that we can be sure that Christian Duen does not see the asphalt between those go-karts. He sees only the rear bumper of the leader.
I mean, they're so close together, Ruben Conceição could probably turn round and pick Christian Duvan's nose, he's that close to him. Into the next corner. They're in clear track. They've got clear track in front of them. The battle is going on. There's the battle, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. There are your leaders. And we'll count down the seconds. It's come down from 16 seconds to 15 to 14. Last time across the line it was 13 seconds. 13 seconds with 13 minutes to go between these two drivers and the chasing duo, Irish Pro and the Asphalt Knights. They've got the message. They're not separating at all. They know they've got to keep pushing right till the end, because at some point Christian Duvan is going to have to go, and at some point Ruben Conceição is going to have to say no.
And that means that fight for the 3rd place will not begin earlier as fight for the lead. That is only hope for Irish Pro and Asphalt Knights. When Matrax Racing and PF Racing starting to fight, they are closing in. 13 seconds left. They will cooperate until there is clear result of the fight for the win.
Well, yeah, exactly. You know, we're all waiting for this to kick off. Now, okay, they're closing back in on the battle. Why are they closing in? Because KMRS by Scoff and KMRS, they're starting to defend. They're battling, they're moving around. There goes, is that a PK16 Racing going for a move? Yes, it is. Right, the battle is kicked off for 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. And it's about to hold up the leaders. This is the worst position possible for the leaders. Oh, someone's been pushed by.
The leaders they are going through the inside, through the starting straight. First corner approaching there, and up the hill is Matrax Racing is through. Oh, 3 cars already behind him, and that is a great way to end this relationship. Not to fight each other, but just to lose in the traffic.
Bring a third party into the marriage? Are you serious? No, he's got to get past Christian Duvan. Has got to go. He's got to make the move now, because there's one car. I think I can't see who it is. Is it PK16 Racing between the 2 leaders? Duvan's got to go, and he's got to go now. There he goes. Okay. He gets the 2 KMRS teams have lost out big time there. Martin Brochard for Joker team is at the head of the Joker team are up to 7th. KMRS by Scoff 8th. PK16 9th. And then KMRS Racing 10th. But the 2 leaders are now together. Martin Brochard has got a rocket ship in this last stint. There goes Duvan. He still, and he hangs out PK16 to dry. Oh, now is that getting shuffled wide as well? The gap back to third place is 12 seconds.
They are closing in more than 1 second during this lap. The leaders are through the starting straight now and up to the hill into the first corner. 0.2 seconds between Matrax Racing and PF Racing. The gap has doubled during this lap, but at least those are only 0.2 of a second.
Now, of course, Tom Chape and Hugo Carvalho, they've got to negotiate that battle. However, that battle has now only got 4 karts in it, because Joker team are up the road. Joker team are up the road. It's going to be KMRS by Scoff. KMRS Racing, the blue racer, he goes back in on PK16 Racing. KMRS Racing take 9th place back. Still, nothing to choose between the leaders. 9 minutes to go. They've negotiated that first hurdle. Now, where on the track are we? How much traffic? There's 2 karts in front of them. One of them is the Joker team, and then another slower kart. So they've got to negotiate at least the slower kart. I think Martin Brochard has gone. Joker team up to P7.
Joker team up to 7. PK16 Racing was really close behind PKMRS by Scoff, but they somehow managed to lose place to KMRS Racing.
Well, down to turn number 1 again. This is getting so intense.
And with 1.4 seconds deficit to KMRS Racing in P9.
Let's have a look at the battle.
And still, one after
We
another.
apologise.
The leaders
We apologise if the commentary went off temporarily. Talk about bad timing. We apologise for that. We are back on air. So 7 minutes to go.
It's 7 minutes to go, less than 7 minutes to go, less than 1/10 of a second between Ruben Conceição and Christian Duvin. They are fighting for the win. They have overtaken the competitors starting with 10th, 9th and 8th places. Only with them on the same lap is a Joker team in P7 and everyone in front of them. For Joker team now driving Martin Brochard. He ran away at the very best possible moment.
Yes, indeed. The gap still 11 seconds between Irish Pro. They're leaving this very, very late indeed. The good news is they've both got carts behind them. Between them and the chasing pack. Now, is that a move? Not quite.
Not yet, we can be sure for that. 6 minutes remaining in this lap, and there are our leaders. Only 900ths of a second separating them for half a day already. There are their teams waiting for this, how this race will end, and it will end after 5 minutes and 45 seconds.
I cannot believe the tension. They've been together standing. That's the Matrax team. You're watching your race leaders. They cannot, the manager with his headphones on, there's nothing more he can do. Now it's just down to Ruben Conceição. 900ths of a second separate them.
Are you sure? Are you sure there is nothing he can do? He can.
Well, apart from throw something at PF Racing's go-kart.
Yes, he can tell on which side is going and which side to go.
He can act as a spotter.
Yeah, he can act as a spotter. He sees better where is now PF Racing and
Asphalt Knights have just taken third place as well. Asphalt Knights have passed Tom Chappe and Irish Pro for third.
But there's only 1/10, so this fight is not over. 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes to go. Leaders still together. Matrax and PF. Asphalt Knights in front of Aries Pro. PF, we have run away from MRK Lions. PF Racing now in front of Matrax Racing. Matrax team waiting on the fence and waiting for those 4 minutes, how those will end. We have only 1/10 of a second between leaders, but now Christian Duvin in PF Racing is leading. Will PF Racing take third win in a row? They won a year ago, they won 2 years ago, and they are leading 4 minutes before the end of the 12-hour race.
The tension, you can tell the tension.
The tension you can feel in the air.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Christian Duvin now leads this race. PF Racing looking for 3 in a row. Can Ruben Conceição fight back? Can he fight? Can he fight back? He's coming down to the turn number 16. They've got trapped. Well, they passed one slower kart. 3 minutes to go.
That's an opportunity. Slower kart in front and leaders approaching out of the corner on the starting straight. 3 minutes. Only 3 minutes. 180 seconds till the end of 12-hour race. Here they are fighting up the hill through the first and second corner, now through the third and fourth. There are actually 3 laps to go from now on. 2 minutes and 40 seconds, and fight for the lead is still on, and also fight for the third is not over. There are only 0.2 of a second.
Now don't forget, it's not like sprint racing. When the clock strikes 0, the next time the leaders cross the line, that's the checkered flag.
So they have to calculate.
No plus one. So we're going to find out if they cross the line with less than 1 minute 25 seconds on the clock. We'll be on our last lap.
And there,
Side for the lead. 2 minutes to go.
And PF Racing just lost the lead. Matrax Racing with Ruben Conceao are in the front.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Is now. He's diving inside turn 16.
Side by side. Good team runs. Fortune telling. Predicted it. Then it happened. Too bad. Look at the race clock.
1 minute 35 seconds over the finish line. And 2 laps to go, so we need 1 minute and 25 seconds for a lap, and they crossed the finish line 1.5 minutes before the clock hit 0. So we have this and 1 more lap to go.
Here we go then, this is it, this is the penultimate lap. This is absolute cinema. Down through the turn 15 area. No, this is turn 12. Down towards turn 11 now. Sorry, it's getting so intense. Ooh, turn 11. Conceao, there's his team. They look over the shoulder. This is going to be the best finish to any you have ever seen. Into turn number 13 now. Duvan will have one more lap to do something about this. Asphalt lights
20, little bit more than 20 seconds left in this race. They are now through the corner number 17, and here is the last corner of this lap, and still 16 seconds to go. That means we are now into the final lap of this race. Matrax Racing in front, and 0.7 of a second. That's the biggest margin we have had during 12 hours of racing.
This is incredible. I'm so sorry if this sound issue, it's nothing to do with us, but we've got to watch this. It's going to be Ruben Conceao. Tristan Duvan is too far back. This is the final lap. Good steam rods.
Here they are coming downhill to the turn number 10, down to the turn number 11. More than half a second between them. It's a 0.7 of a second. That's a huge gap if we compare that with the gap they had for all those 12 hours. 0.7 of a second. That's the biggest margin there has been. The whole day racing, they raced together. They were bumper to bumper for 12 hours, for 474 laps. And now Matrax Racing is leading with Ruben Conceao at the wheel. PF Racing, they have won 2 years in a row. They won in 2023, they won in 2024, but in 2025 they come home second. And our winners of Saudi World Series International Finals endurance race for 12 hours are Matrax Racing. Andre Callado, Ruben Conceao, and Miguel Neto. Matrax Racing takes the win. PF Racing, our winners for last 2 years, are second. And in Saudi World Series International Finals, only 0.3 of a second separate two leading teams after 12 hours of intense racing, 475 laps, and only 0.3 of a second. It could be closest finish in the whole history of endurance races. Henry, how are you down there?
The tears are flowing. They cannot believe it. This is what it looks like to win a 12-hour endurance race by less than 1 second. Team manager for Matrax, tell me, what does this mean?
It means everything for us. I don't have words for it.
Have you ever been in a race like it? Have you ever been in a race like it?
And thanks as well to PF Racing because we already know with the track. With the track like that, we need to work as a team. So it's a teamwork. That's.
I mean, you look at this. You talk about the spirit of endurance racing. Dennis Holler is the manager of PF Racing, who have just come. I'm sorry, they've come 1 second short of making it 3 in a row, and yet they're hugging. The two teams behind us, the drivers, the parents, the families, are hugging and embracing. Dennis, you have been on this side, and now you're on this side. How do you sum that up?
I mean, it's an incredible race, right? You guys, you deserve it. Congratulations to that fantastic win. So. For me, it's an unforgettable experience to have a race like that. You know, I've never seen a race that two different teams are working so close together during 12 hours. So well done, and we are happy as well. We said in the beginning, if we finish like that, we are happy as we win. So it was fantastic, yeah.
Incredible sportsmanship to you, to the whole PF Racing team. Before we come back to you, Gertz, I think it's only fair we have the last word with our winner. What did you say to Ruben Contejao before he went out? What was the last thing you said to him on the radio?
We believed in their work and just drive,
We won! We are the champion!
Just be himself, and we'll be here anyway. If we win, if we lose, like a family, we are a family. We are not a racing team, we are a family. We win together and we lose together. So,
well, the tears of joy said it all. Congratulations.
Thank you, man. And thank you for the organization. And I think it's always a huge event. It's not easy to make this happen. So congrats to you guys and Saudi as well, and the people that do it live. It's important to share with a lot of people around the world.
Your go-kart's coming into the pits. Your winning go-kart. Go and say congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
There we go. Gertz, that's what it means. Let's go back up to run down the list of results. The emotions down here are incredible.
So, Matrax Racing, such an emotional win, unbelievable experience for all the team. Matrax Racing taking the win, PF Racing congratulating them with this win. 0.3 of a second between the winners. Asphalt Knights taking third place in this race, only 13 seconds behind the leaders and only 1/10 of a second in front of Aries Pro, who are taking fourth. But now everyone has finished. 475 laps have done. Fast Snails are in P50. Atrost Racing Wilsdrup are in P49. And CNC Racing No Coffee No Cure Malaysia are in P48. Sarron Femin 1 in P47. Nitro Knights ending this night in P46. 45th place for friendly competition. Damuso, Dad and Son in 44th. P43 for kart team Wittlich. Then Panther Racing by Yova Technics in P42. Apex Racer are in P41 and Press Retachi P40.
Well, where are we going? Are we going up the order?
We are going up the order.
I just got back to the commentary box. I'm a bit out of breath. So, in 39th place from Japan, Konshinya Racing. Sankachi from Slovenia come home in 38th place. 5 laps separate the top 37 teams. Kart Racing Mainz in 37th place. EscuelaKart.com in 36th. A WRW finish 4 laps down in 35th. These next teams were just 3 laps down at the end. Buro 11, Need for Speed from Croatia. Movers.lv
from Ukraine.
From Ukraine, I'm sorry. Movers.lv for Latvia. Nameless Motorsport from the UK in 32nd. Euro Racing ASD from Austria in 30th and 31st. And rounding out your top 30, the Croatia racing team from Spain.
29th, Poisson's Kart 1, TRIV Motorsport in 28th, Top 1 Karting in 27th, P26 for Infinity, Warm-Up Pro Racing Team in 25th position, Young and Wild on the finish line in P24, Iceman Racing Photomat in 23rd place, 21st for Atsnarukach Ukrainian team, Iron Car team completing top 20.
Iris Sport from Switzerland come home in 19th place. 18th place, Lecluse Automobile Racing. And in 17th position for Ukraine, T-Drive 2G Turtle Wax. The top 16 teams were within 2 laps of the leaders. Team TKR from Germany come home in 16th position. Sun Life Racing from Italy will finish 15th. The record books will show that Red Racing were non-classified at the end of this.
But who cares about record books? We all know Red Racing are 14th.
Yes, the team put together this morning finished a fantastic 14th. You're looking at Ruben Conceição on the circuit. 13th place, KRS Green competition, as the owner of PF Racing congratulates Ruben Conceição. In 12th position from Spain, Rodex. And in 11th position, KMRS Racing. They drop right down at the end. 10th position, 1 lap and 6 seconds behind the winner, Track Limits by Storm Group.
It actually could be the biggest surprise, Track Limits by Storm Group coming home in front of KMRS Racing, who is in P11, because KMRS Racing was fighting for 7th, only a couple of laps before the end. And within the top 10, we have PK16 Racing in P9, KMRS by Skov finishing P8, and within 1 lap, top 7 teams. After 12 hours of racing, Joker team taking P7, MRK Lions in P6, only 5 seconds behind PFV team, and 4th place, just by 1/10 of a second missing the podium, are Aries Pro, and here are our 3 podium finishers.
Finishing in 3rd position, 13.7 seconds behind the race winner, Asphalt Knights, João Brites, Hugo Carvalho, and Luis Duarte Moreira.
In P2, missing the 1st place by just 3/10 of a second, but with unbelievable experience, as they said. It's Christian Duvin, it's Vika Schleds, Niklas Kruger, PF Racing. They won 2 years in a row, and today they are happy with a 2nd. That's unbelievable.
But your winners, you're looking at them on your screen now, completing 475 laps, a fastest lap of 1 minute 25.146 seconds, and winning by 3/10 of a second, representing Portugal and the Dubai Autodrome, Matrax Racing, drivers Andre Callado, Duarte Lopez, Miguel Neto, and the driver that took the lead with less than 2,000 meters of racing remaining, Ruben Conceição. Gertz Teamrots, have you ever seen anything like that?
Henry Boudet, no, I don't.
If every endurance race was like that, my blood pressure would be higher than Mount Everest.
If
by the
every
end of it.
endurance race would have a finish like that, Le
Go-kart.
Mans 24 would be more popular than Formula 1.
If every go-kart rental race had a finish like that, go-karting would be more popular than Formula 1. Let's just quickly run through a few things. 50 teams started, 50 teams finished. There were a grand total of 2 off-track moments. One on lap 1, and then one a little bit further on, about 10 minutes in. There were 0 yellow flags, 0 crashes, 0 mechanical failures, 0 engine failures,
Zero safety cars.
0 safety cars, 0 Sodi Kart RT10 failures. For anybody who wants to decry and say, oh, it's all about kart choice, it's not fair, it's not equal, you cannot get more equal than a 0.3 of a second gap at the end of 12 hours with drivers and teams consistently changing karts.
And you
Each
cannot
team-
get more equal as rental cards, brand new, prepared for this race.
Each team drove 16 different go-karts during the course of that race, and they finished 0.3 of a second apart. But what really gets me, Gert, is the sportsmanship at the end. Matt Trax and PF, they work together. They camp side by side together.
The best lap times are separated
Yep.
by only 1,000th of a second.
Duvan made the move. Conceição got him back. I think Duvan was slightly broken on the last half a lap because he lost a couple of tenths of a second. And yet you saw the hugs. You saw the congratulations. You saw the sportsmanship. You know, that is what makes endurance racing so special. You know, it separates itself from the Sprint Cup racing because each one of those 50 teams, their families, they know how hard it is. They know how physically and mentally draining it is to do endurance kart racing. 0.3 of a second. There are the trophies. I want one quick word. You know, we've named all the teams. There are 50 different stories. Iris Pro miss out on a podium by 14 hundredths of a second. So for the drivers, Tom Chape, Gregory Morin and Sibert Verfaye, that is gut-wrenching. But that's also
But if
racing.
PF Racing are happy with this great experience, Aries Pro should be too.
Yes. Now, we're not finishing our coverage right now, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to live stream the podium. I think one of us is going to have to go down and do the podium because we've got 2 separate sound systems, and one of us is going to have to close things out up here. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, don't go away. We've got to ratify the results. Gertz and myself will go and have a quick lie down in a very dark room. Stay tuned. We will go through the podium presentation beforehand, but for 23 nations, 50 teams, you know, I want to know who won the battle. Well, congratulations. Nitro Knights won the battle for last, finishing 46th. They were just how far ahead of they were not far ahead of Assaron Femin, who were and then No Coffee, No Racing, No Coffee, No Cure, Atross Racing, Wilsdruff, and the Fast Snails. And you know what? There's some of the happiest teams down there. We're gonna poor Sergio, he's down there filming. We'll take a short break, ladies and gentlemen. Please don't go away. We will be back for the podium presentation.
That will be a unique experience because you have watched for 12 hours those people racing on the track with their crash helmets on, and it will be unique opportunity to see how they look like without the crash helmets on. So wait for the podium ceremony. We will be back in a few minutes.
And that podium ceremony is coming up very shortly, apparently. We've just been summoned.
Let's go.
Estou só aqui a ajustar a luz para não estar a explodir o ecrã nem para estar demasiado escuro.
Well, you're looking at the podium being set up at the moment. Gert Teamrots will go down to the podium. And, we're getting a penalty has come in for Team 33. NRG Agora getting a one-lap penalty for dangerous driving. But that's going to drop them down to, 22nd position. There is the stage. On the stage you have the podiums. You can see some of the flags of the 53 different nations that compete in the Saudi World Series International Finals. The final ranking has been sent down. A big thank you to everyone on the live chat for making this a real inclusive broadcast. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage of this endurance. Let me just tell you what is coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow we have the superheats and the finals for all the sprint categories. That's kids, juniors, masters, women, and the sprint cup. There's going to be another full day of racing, and we want you all to be on board. If I were to tell you that we are on course to make this event the most watched karting event anywhere in the world on YouTube in 2025, more than the FIA, WSK, Rotax Euro Trophy, you name it. At the moment, we are on course to make this the most watched karting broadcast anywhere in the world. So please tune in tomorrow once my colleague Gert Teamrots has handed out the trophies for the top 3 teams. We really do appreciate everything that you have done on the live chat. We've had a good lot of time. I owe someone some flowers. I know that much because they predicted months ago that Matt Tracks Racing would win. The Asphalt Knights, well, they were 17th in this event a year ago, and with 53 minutes remaining, they were 25th out of 50, and they finished third. 16 different teams led this race. We must have had about 100, and I'm not exaggerating. I am not kidding. We must have had 100 lead changes, but enough of the 100 lead changes because the only lead change that mattered happened less than 2 minutes before the end of this race. It was for the win, and Gert's Team Rots is about to present the podium. Take it away, Gertz.
Take it away, Gertz. Thank you. International Finals for 12 hours endurance race, and we are ready for a podium ceremony. Teams are here, winners are here, podium is up on the stage there, and third team after 12 hours of racing, winning third step on the podium by just 1/10 of a second. Asphalt Knights up on the stage, going Asphalt Knights. João Brites, Hugo Carvalho, and Luis Duarte Moreira. Third best team in Sony World Series Finals 2025 in 12 hours endurance race. There they are coming. Third step on the podium for Asphalt Knights. They fought hard for whole 12 hours and only 13 seconds of the leaders. The very, very close fight during those 12 hours. Asphalt Knights on the podium. João Brites, Hugo Carvalho, and Luis Duarte Moreira. An absolutely unbelievable finish of the endurance race, of 12 hours, and second best team after winning 2 years in a row, second in 2025 RPF Racing! Christian Duven, Mika Schultz, and Niklas Kruger! Here they come up on the stage, second best team this year, but you can be pretty sure they will be back and they will fight for the win again. They were the best team 2 years in a row and now are second with only 3/10 of a second difference with the winners after 12 hours of racing. What a race, what a final, what a fight for all 12 hours on the track. And now it's time for our winners. The closest finish in endurance race in Saudi World Series. Matrax Racing! Andre Callado, Ruben Concierto, Duarte Lopez, and Miguel Neto. such a silence. Let's make one big round of applause of best teams in Saudi World Series. And now the main trophy, the biggest one for the winning team only. There comes Saudi World Series International Finals endurance race 12 hours trophy for our winners, Matrox Racing! Third, every second, and Matrox Racing the win and making the history. And now, if you hold the camera, you make a pictures. If you don't, you make a one big round of applause for our winners one more
Bora, bora!
For photos, it's time for selfies. It is time to celebrate.
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the emotion from the podium. We are approaching 25 to 1 in the morning here in Campillos, Andalusia, Spain. We started this race under baking blue skies. We end it under inky black skies. The silhouettes of the drivers on the podium belie the 12 hours of toil and sacrifice that they have been through, and it was all worth it. This has quite simply been the greatest endurance race that I have ever been part of. Thank you so much for joining us. Please join us again. Titles and super heats. On behalf of Gert Teamrots, of WFR Live TV, and of Saudi Karts and 3MK events, this has been the 2025 12-hour Saudi World Series International Final Endurance Cup. Good night.